Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and click on that bell button so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And I'm so excited to show you what I have planned for today with the items that I had posted this past few days ago. What you're going to use first is just a plain notebook, notepad, piece of paper is what I used to make a template of a blade. I just freehanded it, so what the measurements were 1 inch at the bottom of the blade and 2.5 inches on the top of the blade. If that gives you guys some help with that. Basically what you need to do is with these round disposable covers, you need to get 4 of these blades from each one of these covers. At first, I had thought I was going to use 12 of the blades, but you'll see later on I ended up only using 8 based on the size that I made the blade. Now, if you decide to make the blade a little bit smaller, then you might be able to fit the 12 blades. But you just keep working with these round circled covers and make sure you can get at least 4 from each cover in order to get 12 blades. So you just cut them out, and then with the extra scrap of the paper, I ended up cutting out a circle that's going to be the center of my blades. In the center of my blades, what you're going to use is E6000 and hot glue if you like. I just used E6000 to glue the wreath ring to the napkin holder. And just let it sit out to dry for at least a good 2 hours before you start doing the rest of this project. And there you have it. And these are the blades in the round circle that I said I cut out. Okay, so I'm using a few different colors of the Waverly chalk paint. I'll leave each color down below. To be honest with you, I didn't use all the colors because I didn't really exactly know how it was going to look. I used only the black ink and the hazelnut. But like I said, I had a few colors on this tray just to see how it would work, and I wanted to play with all these colors. But I'll leave all of them down below just in case you'd like to mess with them and play with them and see if you get a color you like. But what I did was kind of dry brush the paint onto each one of the blades just to give it that old rustic look. And it dries really quick since it's kind of dry brushed on there. By the time I was done painting all 12, the first one that I painted was dry. A good tip that I would highly recommend you do is either with a permanent marker or one of these wood furniture touch-up markers from Dollar Tree is paint the edges of each blade. It makes a huge difference. You may not be able to see it on camera very well, but it makes a huge difference. And once the paint was dry, I just got a dry paintbrush and kind of wiped it off. And once I did that, I realized that it still looked too shiny for my taste. So I just got the sand block and scratched up the blades, I guess you could say, in the center so it wouldn't look so shiny. But this is completely optional. You don't have to do it that way. It's just I wanted it to look more old and rustic. The center part, the circle that I cut out, I just painted that black and did the same process of sanding it so it could be rustic looking and more scratched up. And you can see I just touched it up with the black ink just to give it, again, just for my taste. Once you're done, I glued the center part so I could know where the center was going to be. Then I got 2 of these skewer sticks and just made an X towards the back, on the back of the wreath. And if you notice, the wreath, the back of the wreath of this wheel is going to be the front of the wreath. I guess you could say where the arch is at of the wreath is going to be the back. If that makes sense. Basically the front is going to be the one that has two of the flat wreath rings evened out, and you'll see it once I flip it over. And then you just cut off the excess of these skewers. And then I just sanded them down because I cut them up roughly. And I simply just used hot glue for it. And they stayed perfectly fine. Once I was done gluing them, I went ahead and painted them black. And I didn't record, but I also painted the wreath black. The wreath ring black. I'll get it out sooner or later, huh? And again, since you're not doing a huge thick coat on any of these sticks, it's going to dry pretty quick, about 5 minutes, and it dries up. So you go ahead and paint the sticks, the wreath, and I guess you could say the stick of the napkin holder. As you can see, I'm doing that. You can easily spray paint this if you'd like, but since I was inside, I really didn't know how or exactly how I was going to make this. I just knew I wanted to make one. So if next time I do it, I think I'll just spray paint it, which will be a lot easier. But I mean, the paint, it didn't take too long, so either way is fine. And then once you let it dry, you go ahead and arrange your blades. Again, like I said, I was planning on putting 12 blades, but once I started gluing them on, I just could only fit 8, which looks fine for me. And what I did was basically do 4 top, bottom, and the middle ones first, and then put the blades in between. And then once you glue one of the blades, it's kind of like a stencil. You just make sure the other one's even to the first ones you glue, so it'll even out in the center as well. And you can see I had to remove one and then put it back somewhere else for it to look even. But there you have it. How simple was that, huh? And since I glued just a little piece of it, I turned it around and made sure each one of the blades was completely glued onto the wreath ring. And I decided to go ahead and paint the back of the blades with my extra paint, just because I didn't, in case somebody or where I placed it, you could see some of the backing. I didn't want it to look, all different colors and stuff. So I just decided to paint it black as well. But again, that's completely optional depending on where you're going to place it. But here you go. What do you guys think? Let me know in the description box below. Let me know in the comments below. I'm sorry, what you guys think about it. Till next time, bye.